What's going on, everybody? Welcome to GmiasWorld, and what we're going to be talking about today is what can make Madden 19 Ultimate Team the best Ultimate Team ever. Now, I'm going to start off with the actual legends, all right? I think we need better legends, but we're going to get to that in a second. I want to address, if you may be new to Madden or you've just been playing over the last couple of years, some of the things that I might suggest might not register right away, but if you give it a little bit of time as I go through why I'm saying the things that I'm saying, it's going to help you be more mentally prepared for what's going to be happening in 19 and some of the things that we used to get that's been taken away. And, you know, maybe EA will decide to make it a little bit more seamless. Like, that's not to say that they haven't done a lot of work when it comes to making everything a little bit more seamless. Like, we've already seen, if you guys haven't, on the EASports.com website that they're going to make it a lot easier to upgrade cards in the future, stuff like that. You don't have to always come to these sets. You're going to be able to do it right from the card. So they have made a lot of attempts to make the game a lot better and seamless, but there's other things that they can improve on, and pretty much it's the content. So what happens is, at the beginning of the year, they give us legends, right? And I think that if you guys get the Hall of Fame version of the game, you get to pick one of 4 legends or something like that. I don't know all the actual details because I'm still trying to figure out a lot of the ways that they're going to let us pick. I know that there was a Dan Marino or Rod Woodson. They had the Terrell Davis, and they had one more guy. I don't know who that guy was. What was the guy? I forgot the guy, but you know it's like 4 of them, and they got T.O. on the cover. But I think T.O. is going to be in the game somehow, some way through. Just by getting it, you'll be able to upgrade him throughout the year. But we'll talk about that later on. Pretty much when the year starts off, you get legends, right? So whether you have the Twitch Prime or whatever you're doing, we're going to talk about these specific legends, right? Okay. When you look at these cards, a lot of the guys like Harold Carmichael, he turned out to be good for us because he was 6'8". But for the most part, a lot of people didn't really know who Harold Carmichael was. They took away like the Cromartie, like I'm not talking about Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know who Antonio. Like, a lot of you dudes that's been playing Madden for a while, you know what Antonio Cromartie meant to Madden Ultimate Team. Like, this dude was just an animal, but his brother's pretty good too. I'm not saying Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, you know, when he was with the Cardinals, dude was a stud. You know, he was coming up out of nowhere. Antonio Cromartie, bro, Chargers Antonio Cromartie. Like, I'm talking about before Jets and all the other foolishness he was doing with Darrell Reed, all that other crap. Bro, that dude Antonio Cromartie was a monster. Okay, big, fast, ready to go. Why didn't we get an Antonio Cromartie? Like, these are the things. The reason I ask these things is because if something is working, I don't know why you change it. And look, Cromartie is the kind of card that it doesn't matter if you just started playing MUT, whatever, you know about Cromartie. You know about both of them, but Antonio Cromartie was just such a stud. I really, really, felt that they kind of did him dirty, like not having him in the game. You know what I'm saying? T.O., I wanted a T.O., but obviously we're getting him next year. So, we can't really complain about that right now. We know he's already been released. He's going to be in the game, so that's fine. There's some other stars that, you would really want to see, but they give us, like, the basics, right? They give us the Michael Vicks. They give us the Randy Mosses. They give us those cards so that we can't really go wild. You know what I'm saying? Because Randy Moss and Mike Vick, as long as those 2 guys are released every year, it's not really going to be an issue. They just have to make sure that they release those guys. With the way that the game has been and the way that the players move around and stuff like that, as far as the actual, the wide receiver, defensive back, the battles and the stuff that they have, or however the interaction is, you haven't really been able to get past people depending on, what the corner is or whatever, if they're in zone and stuff like that. It's been kind of wild. But I will tell you this, though. Depending on how the game plays out, because a lot of you guys that played the demo or whatever they had for the Madden 19 situation with the NASF, and you were able to play the closed beta, you were able to see that, a lot of the gameplay still looks like it is Madden 18. But again, that doesn't mean that that's the way the game is going to be when it's released. So I want to make sure you guys understand that. It's a situation where they just wanted to get feedback on certain, specific things that were wrong with it, the bugs and stuff like that. So don't really fall into that gameplay too much. I just wanted to point that out. It's a work in progress, so we have to wait until we actually get the full-fledged game. But there are a lot of legends that haven't really gotten their fair share of being able to put out there. And I'm just bringing up Antonio Cromartie. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys can, bring out a lot of stuff. But I always wanted a T.O. I always wanted Antonio Cromartie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted those guys every year. Like, those dudes right there, they were really, really glitchy. They were really, really glitchy, man. And, from previous Maddens. And I just wanted to be able to, you know, to run around and just be an idiot with Cromartie. That's all. You know what I'm saying? Just not Dominique, Antonio. You know what I'm saying? So better legends would make it, you know, for like more namesake. But it is a bit difficult to get these guys, you know, to sign and to do stuff like that. And I understand that part. And for the most part, we got a lot of decent legends. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, for me, Sean Taylor Muttmaster, Randy Moss, you know what I'm saying? Even though I had to rage sell Randy Moss like 19 times, Mike Vick, just being able to use him, whatever, because Mike Vick is Mike Vick. But the most recent game where Mike Vick was really Mike Vick was Madden 25. Since then, it's been a joke. Okay, so as far as that goes, I'm going to go ahead and leave that the way that it is. But they give us the premier names, but there are a lot of other people that we would consider legends that we haven't really been able to utilize over the last couple of years in Madden. And we've been getting like guys that, you know, probably are janitors right now that are legends, and it just doesn't make any sense. So better legends is something that would make Madden 19 Ultimate Team like really, really sick. Okay? The next thing is the Nats going into all sets. Now, you're probably saying to me, yo, Gmias, why don't you just get rid of Nats? Well, the reason that they can't technically get rid of Nats is because people farm accounts and they create a lot of different ways of transferring stuff from multiple accounts. For most of you guys that don't know, farming is not it's not allowed. And if you get caught farming on whatever account, they ban those accounts. Because what happens is you overfluctuate the market. So when you overfluctuate the market, it becomes something to where people are losing things. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're losing the value of your grind because one person has the same card up 5, 6, 7 times. And when I say it like that, you guys are like, bro, who's doing that? Who would actually go out there and do that 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times? And the honest answer is most of these guys. Most of these guys will do that. It's unbelievable the way that it is and how it happens. But at the end of the day, it's completely ridiculous, you know, the way that they do these things. And I don't understand, you know, why they would do it or how they're doing it. But people really, really have the time to do that. You know what I'm saying? They really have the time to do all these different accounts and to come out and just do wild things. And I don't understand how. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand how they're able to do, you know, it's just so many things that go into it, playing these solos over and over again. But if they're psychos, it is what it is. If they can sit there and play the game so many other times, I think that it shouldn't be bannable because they're still putting the time in. And if EA, you know, gives them the opportunity to do it, and they gotta be, you know, and it's time consuming like that, and they still do it over and over again, they should see it, they should possibly get the reward for it. Like, if that's the protocol, is to do certain things and then you keep doing those things over and over again, you still put the same time in. Now, people use bots, they use all kinds of other ways to like go through it. In that form, based on what I've been reading about EA Sports and why they've been banning accounts, I understand that. I understand them banning you because you have like a bot that's just playing solos and they know to run the ball once and all that kind of stuff. That right there, I understand that. But if you're physically sitting there and doing it, I don't think it should be, you know, a bannable offense. But that's what they do, and that's where it is, and that goes into it. You know, you got coin selling. There's so many other things that happen. So they use Nats to try to, you know, obviously they're a business. It makes them more money because you can't trade or auction it. But they use it to try to kind of, you know, calm it down a little bit. You can never stop it overall because people are always going to find loopholes. But that's primarily what goes on with it. But the biggest issue that I have with the Nats is things like this, right? I have a Nat Dan Marino that I have no use for, right? And he's just not eligible for the set. But he still meets the criteria, and he should be able to go into the set. Now, usually they would have updated this, but they didn't because it's at the end of the year, so you can't put any Nats in this particular set. So when this set was released, that hurt me because I had to go out and find other ways to make movie tickets when the blockbusters were just released. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to give us Nats and we can't do anything else with it to make a profit, we should be able to put them into every single set. And that should be from the beginning of Madden. Because Madden 18, you weren't allowed to do it either. And then they had to update it to fix everything because of all the complaints that they were getting. And then they made it so that you could put the Nats into sets. That should be automatic. Any Nat that you get that meets the criteria, they should allow you to put it into other sets. That's point blank, period. They can't just give you, you can't do anything else with it. All it does is fill your binder up and stay there. So that's not fair at all. I don't agree with that. That makes no sense. Because if the numbers match, they should be able to go into the set. Point blank, period. All right, I just wanted to give you guys that example because like I said, when EA does things that make sense, I will tell you, yo, bro, that's hot, that's good, that's whatever. When they're doing things that doesn't seem fair to the people that are playing the game, like, you know, really, really dedicated to doing it, that are loyal to it, and that are doing the solos and all that stuff, and then we can't put our stuff into a set because it's a nat, that doesn't make any sense. But again, I think that that might have been a bug that they just didn't address, and because it's so late in the year, they never updated it. But they did, in fairness to them, early in the year, update it so we could put nats into other sets. Okay, so that being said, I think that should just be an automatic thing. If you have a nat card, you should know that you're able to put it into any set in any of the item sets. That's it. Okay? Now, the final thing that I really, really 100% have an issue with is upgrade schedules. Okay? Now, you might be talking about power-ups. I'm talking about basic upgrade schedules. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, the Master set with Sean Taylor, it took us forever to really get anything that was going on. The first upgrade, you know, the final upgrade, like, there was no real schedule with doing it. And then with the LaDainian Tomlinson, like, bruh, you can't wait until, like, it's 2 months left to use him for him to be upgraded to a 99. We need better timing, better schedules when it's supposed to come out, because for us, we were sitting on, like, the 95, the 96? It was one of these we were sitting on for, like, forever. And it's like, bruh, you got to give better upgrade schedules, because that kind of keeps people more inclined to know what they're doing and to know how to balance their time. It's not like people just sit around waiting to play Madden. Like, we want to play it when we know we're getting something out of it. So this schedule that they really, the way that they upgraded any player, even like the Champ Bailey, it was completely ridiculous. You didn't know when it was coming. They would randomly say it. And those things need to be addressed. You know what I'm saying? Because the better the schedule is, the easier it is for everybody to know when something's happening. And then we can more assess when we need to do stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes everything easier. And I think that that was something that really was like a drag out. Because I don't know if it's the fear of having a 99, but to be honest with you, if you have a few 99s early in the year, it doesn't hurt the game. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you have to work for it. Like with Mutt Master and stuff like that, that doesn't hurt the game. That just makes the game more fun, because people will figure out ways to try to have to get that done. You create more grinders. You create people that want to get it done easier. They're going to spend more money to try to get it done easier, because everybody wants to be the first person to do it. So I don't think you lose either way, because you might say, oh yeah, it creates an imbalance. No, it doesn't. What creates an imbalance is when you make Ultimate Master eligible for everybody, even if you didn't do Mutt Master like they did this year. That was complete foolishness. You were able to get, Night Train Lane, and you didn't have to complete Mutt Master. How do you get to Ultimate Master without completing Mutt Master? That doesn't make any sense. So those are things that, the top 3 things that I think would kind of level more of the playing field with the grinders, the people that buy packs, everything, everybody around it. It'll more be a balance if you do it along those lines. Those are my top 3 things right now. Better Legends, Nats going into all sets, better upgrade schedules. Okay? Now, as far as the power-ups go, we all know now that you can downgrade the power-up and get rid of the elite parts that go into it, and you get a portion of your coins back. So, in Madden 18, that was one of my biggest pet peeves, was the power-ups. That's why it wasn't part of this, is because they've already addressed it. And you'll be able to break down your power-ups and sell them. So, that works out as well. So, those are my top 3. I would love to hear what you guys feel needs to be addressed. Maybe we could get some information out to EA before the game is released and see if the programmers can put something into it. Leave it in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. One love, y'all.